Hello and welcome back. Today we'll be making healthy, delicious snack recipes that are gluten and dairy free. They're also very fun to make and they're a great way to satisfy that craving you get between meals. They also make an ideal snack to have when you're taking a break between study sessions. We'll begin by making these quinoa and date bars. We'll start with the date syrup. So to make the date syrup, soak 3/4 cups of dates in boiling hot water for 20 minutes. The dates are going to help to hold the quinoa bars together. Then measure out 1 cup of quinoa and place it in a frying pan over low heat and toast this for 22 minutes on low heat or until it has darkened like this. Then place 1 large shredded carrot in a bowl and put that aside. Back to the dates. We're going to blend the dates with 3/4 cups of water. You want to blend the dates until it forms a smooth paste like this. And to the date syrup we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and stir this in until it's well incorporated. Then add a pinch of sea salt and then give this another stir. Then in a bowl add the toasted quinoa, and if you're wondering why the quinoa is very light in colour, it's because the first time when I made this recipe, I did not toast the quinoa for long enough, but I really would advise you to toast the quinoa for the suggested time. And then stir in the date syrup until it covers the quinoa completely. Then add the shredded carrots to the quinoa and the date syrup and mix this in until it's well combined. We're going to crush up 1/3 of almond nuts. I'm doing this by placing it in a freezer bag, and I crush this with a heavy object. Then add the crushed almond nuts to the quinoa mixture and then mix in the almond nuts. I'm also going to sprinkle over 1/4 cup of raisins, then transfer the quinoa mixture to a rectangular dish and flatten it down. Place this in the freezer for 2 to 3 hours. To make the chocolate drizzle, we'll do this by melting some vegan dark chocolate, that's 40 grams of vegan dark chocolate, over a pan of boiling water. Then once the quinoa bars are all set, we can slice them up. I'm going to slice them into 4 equal pieces. You want to take your time while you're doing this, as the bars are quite fragile and they can break apart if you're not careful. So cut this as slow as you can, and then once the vegan dark chocolate has melted completely, drizzle that over the quinoa bars. And now you've got these delicious date quinoa bars. Next up are these popcorn and oat bars. So we'll begin by making the popcorn. So in a pan over medium heat, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and a 1/4 cup of popcorn kernels. and allow it to heat up until it begins to pop. Then in a separate pot, we're going to make the syrup by combining a 1/4 cup of honey and a 1/4 cup of almond butter. Melt this over low heat and continue to stir in the almond butter and honey until it's well combined and melted like this. And then in a bowl, add 1 cup of oats, and 2 cups of popcorn, along with the almond butter and honey syrup. Mix this in until the almond butter and honey is well incorporated with the popcorn. We're also going to add 1/2 cup of coconut oil and a 1/4 cup of raisins. You can also add any dried fruit of your choice, and then some cinnamon, and mix this in. Then transfer mixture to a rectangular dish and press this down with a spoon. I switched to a smaller spoon as it made it much more easier to press the mixture, and then place this in the fridge for up to 12 hours until it sets like this. I'm slicing this up into 4 equal parts. Again, take your time with this as the bars may fall apart if you cut this too fast. And now you've got these super delicious popcorn and oat bars. Final recipe is on the savoury side. We've got these rosemary flatbread bars. We'll begin by combining the flours, so that's 1/2 cup of gluten-free flour and 1/2 cup of cornmeal flour. Of course, you can use 1 type of flour, and then combine the 2 flours together. Add in 2 tablespoons of rosemary, and mix this in. Also add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt to bring out the flavour, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and stir everything in until it's all combined. We're also going to add a 1/4 cup of coconut oil and gradually add in a 1/4 cup of ice water. I'm going to begin by adding 2 tablespoons of ice water and then gather the dough together until it begins to clump, and then move to kneading the dough. Once the dough gets like this, we're going to add 2 more tablespoons of ice water, so that's the remaining ice water, and then keep combining it until it forms a thick dough like this. Then place the dough in a rectangular dish, and using your fingers press it down. I'm also using a spoon to press it down and flatten the dough. Bake the dough for 22 to 25 minutes at 180 degrees and allow it to cool completely before you slice it. I'm also going to slice this into 4 equal slices. Again, you want to take your time as the flat dough can be quite fragile, so you want to cut this into slices slowly. And I really do hope that you liked these recipes, and if you did, feel free to subscribe and you'll be kept up to date with more healthy, delicious recipes. Thank you for watching.